Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 2020 Winter Solstice yoga practice. So we're going to begin down on our mat, reclining down on the floor. And once we've arrived, add anything you'd like, something underneath the neck, something underneath the knees, so that we can begin by finding comfort as best we can. Beginning to settle the body down, beginning to start to feel a heaviness in the back body. Feeling all those places along the back body that are touching down on your mat. Feeling those areas, maybe bringing the head slowly from side to side. And then bringing stillness to the head and neck. Possibly walking the shoulders down just a bit, away from the ears. Allowing the arms to come to rest by your sides. Feel the low back, the hips, if you'd like. Bring a little sway side to side. Feeling the hips from one side to the other. And then any area, parts of your legs touching down or the feet touching down on your mat. Feeling that connection, maybe giving the toes a little wiggle. And then we'll begin to bring everything to stillness. Let's begin to focus on our breath. Possibly we will be able to begin to elongate the inhales and the exhales. We feel the belly rising up with each inhale. And with each exhale, the belly button tucks down towards the spine. And we feel a softening or maybe a melting down feeling in the back part of the body. So that contrast of light and heavy. The inhale brings lightness to the front body, and the exhale brings a heaviness to the back body. Take a bit of time to notice the difference between the light and the heavy. Now let's begin to add a bit of movement by drawing in one knee at a time. Use your hands here to support each knee as you draw the knee in and then release out. The other knee draws in towards the chest, in towards the belly. Take your time here, link your breath and your movement. Now, if you'd like to make this a little bit more, adding a little bit more sensation, as one knee draws in, the other leg lengthens out. That leg can lay down all the way on your mat, or you can hover the leg above the mat. So as you draw in, One leg extends, one leg is drawn in, and we continue moving and breathing in our own time, in our own pace. Let's complete one more on each side. And then drawing both knees in together, wrapping ourselves up in a nice little ball, adding movement here. Taking a few deep breaths in and out as you bring movement here, swaying or circling. Now let's return once again to the movement we were just working on. One leg is drawn in, one leg is extended. Right back to that, linking your breath and your movement. Now, if you'd like to add just a bit more sensation, as you're drawing in the knee, we can bring the nose towards the knee. So drawing the head, drawing the shoulders up and away from your mat. Now I'm going to keep my head lifted this whole time, but you can also raise for a little while and then lower, or raising and lowering with each movement. One more on each side. And then if the head and shoulders are lifted, let's lower the head and shoulders back down. Once again, drawing both knees in, adding movement here. Little massage on the back. And then bringing everything to stillness, let's extend both legs up. So the soles of the feet are reaching up towards the ceiling. I have my legs for now close together, and you can support the legs from behind with your hands. We have a bend in the knees. Let's begin one at a time, just kind of working the feet. So pointing one foot, maybe flexing the other, kind of a alternating movement in the feet. And then begin rotating the ankles. I'm taking my feet away from one another and then back together. Let's see what feels right for you. And now let's widen the legs a bit, keeping the knees nice and bent. Moving into kind of a wide-legged, legs up the wall feeling. Or you can make your way into a happy baby. So bringing the hands away from the backs of the legs, maybe bringing the arms around to the front, maybe to the shins or to the toes or soles of the feet. And in this happy baby pose, you can bring movement. Let's draw the legs back together and then tucking the knees in towards the belly. Bringing any movement here that you'd like. You can separate the knees away from one another, drawing them back together, or keep the knees together, side to side, forward and back, or a rocking horse feeling, up and down. Just a few more breaths here. And then bringing the feet back down to the floor, let's begin to transition. First, we'll make our way to one side. pause here for a moment. And then as you're ready, use the hands to press against the floor. We're going to be making our way into child's pose. So first coming to all fours, and then resting the hips back on the heels. Now set yourself up here for a child's pose that feels right for you. So sometimes hips a bit higher feels good. So the hips do not have to be all the way back by the heels. Now make this work for you. Right now I'm feeling like I'd like to stretch my arms out, fingertips towards the top edge of my mat, forehead and chest melting down towards the floor. But you may feel like you'd like to bend at the elbows here, possibly giving yourself a little place for the head to rest, stacking the hands. Of course, here in our child's pose, we can have knees close together, or we can have knees further apart, bringing the big toes together. Let's remain here for a few more breaths. And then if your hands are not already reaching towards the top edge of your mat, let's stretch the arms out, widen the hands, spreading the fingers out so that we can use the hands to pull us forward into all fours. Once you're here in all fours, let's ground down through the hands, spreading the fingers wide, keeping the knees underneath the hips and the legs, the lower legs and feet stretching out behind us. Let's imagine a nice long line, tailbone to the top of the head. Let's begin to shift forward and back. Linking breath. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Let's make this our last one. Inhale forward. Exhale, sitting back, and then coming back to all fours. Let's ground down into our left hand, our right and left knees. Let's lighten up the right hand so we can lift the right hand up and away from the mat. On our next inhale, let's open up to the right side, only as far as feels natural. And then exhale, threading that right arm, letting it slide across the floor. Inhale, it slides back and opens up. Now take it easy here because we'd like to gently invite the body to open and close. We usually have our best results when we nicely invite. Use your breath here. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Let's make this our last one. And then we'll bring our right hand back to rest. Down on our mat, back to all fours. Let's make a few adjustments or alignments, kind of wiggling side to side, possibly giving that left hand a little rest. And then whenever you're ready, we'll shift our weight just a bit. A little bit more into the right hand, right and left knee grounded down as we inhale, the left arm opening and closing. Once again, making this movement very small, very gentle. Perhaps you notice that turning point when your efforts have paid off and that gentle invitation has led to possibly a little bit more opening. Let's make this our last one. Returning left hand back down to our mat, arriving here in all fours. Let's begin to walk the hands back towards the legs, keeping the knees down, the feet extended behind us. Let's begin to walk the hands up the legs until we arrive in a kneeling position. Let's check down to make sure knees are right underneath the hips. And then let's begin to draw a little bit of energy up through the core, all the way to the top of the head. So as though we're standing, imagine this nice long line. We're going to make our way into camel pose, which opens up the whole front of the body. So let's bring the arms forward, extended forward, palms facing down. And then let's make nice soft fists. So not clenching, just soft fists. Let's bring the fists around and rest them right on the sides of the hips here, the sides of the hip bones. If possible, if it feels okay, see if you can draw your elbows back so that we feel a pinching together in the shoulder blades. And right away, you feel an opening right across the chest. See if you can send breath right here to the front part of the body, the chest and the belly. This may be quite enough opening, or if you'd like a little bit more, you can push the fists on the hips, gently guiding the fists forward. Feel the connection of the tops of your feet into the mat. You may feel that as you push the hips forward, you're feeling a little bit more weight towards the back. Be gentle with your head and neck. So it's okay to bring the gaze up a bit as long as the head doesn't begin to collapse back. Take a few breaths here, opening the chest, opening the whole front of the body. We can feel it here in the fronts of the legs and in the hips, the belly, the chest, and the throat. 2 more breaths. And then if the hips are pushed forward, let's tuck the chin down, bring the hips back to center, release the hands, sliding the hands down the fronts of the legs, sliding the hands all the way forward towards the top edge of your mat, sitting the hips back. We arrive in child's pose. Take your time to set yourself up here for a nice comfy child's pose. Make this posture very restorative and renewing and relaxing. On our next inhale, let's use the hands to help guide us up back to an all fours position. Now from here, we're going to begin to make our way up to a standing position. So take your time, make sure that you're doing the movements in a very intentional way. So stepping 1 foot forward, curling under the toes, lifting the opposite knee, stepping all the way forward. Now from here, gently guide yourself up to a standing position. Once we've arrived here, let's set ourselves up in mountain pose. So checking down with the feet, possibly a little sway forward and back, bringing weight to the toes, weight to the heels. And then finally finding that middle ground, that balance point. Softening the knees, rolling the shoulders back, evening out the chin. And taking a moment here for just a few cleansing breaths, taking time to notice sensations. On our next inhale, let's let one hand slide down the side of the leg as the other arm begins to drift all the way up and over. Let's keep the chest open here. So if you've noticed that when you extend the arm, things begin to fold, open things back up by bending at the elbow, or possibly sliding the hand down one leg and the other hand comes to the hip. We really want to stretch along this whole side. And once we begin to fold over, it creates a whole other shape. One more breath in and out. And on our next inhale, let's begin to drift back to center and shift towards the other side. Other hand drifts down the leg. And we just play around with this. See how it feels to extend the arm and tip. Perhaps we need to open that up to bent elbow or hand on hip. Nice deep breaths into the side body here, creating a lot of nice space. Let's begin to inhale our way all the way back to center. And we'll begin now to widen the stance, heel toe, the feet. And we'll arrive here in this position with the toes pointing out, heels pointing in. Once again, find that balance point. Shift side to side until you finally find that equilibrium, that balance right here in the center. Everything's balanced between both sides. We're going to do a flow that is half sunflower, half moonflowers. We're kind of celebrating light and darkness today. So we'll begin with sunflowers. So inhaling, arms reaching up, creating this nice big sun right above us, shining down on us. And then as the sun sets, we let the arms drift down. We sink down into the legs. Fingertips drift down towards the floor. Inhale, we rise all the way up, creating this nice, lovely sunrise. And then exhale, letting the fingertips drift down towards the mat. We sink way down into the legs if that's comfortable. One more here, inhaling and exhaling, and then moving right into Sun Goddess. Let's let the arms drift out to the sides. Elbows become heavy. Relax the shoulders and neck, sinking down into the legs. Feel your strength here. See if you can soften areas of the body, like the face, the neck, the shoulders, the hands. And then rely on the strength, your inner strength and your physical strength. Now on our next inhale, let's make our way all the way up into this giant starfish shape. Arms are reaching wide. We create a big wide X with the body. We inhale, feel everything up, energy moving all the way to the tips of the extremities. Exhale, letting everything sink down. Elbows heavy, sinking right in towards the waist, legs sinking down. Inhaling and exhaling here in our moonflowers. One more here. And then I have a little challenge for us. This would be a nice place to have something to prop yourself on if you'd like. We're going to move into a squat position. We can keep the feet just as they are. It makes it a little easier because it allows the hips to open up a little bit. Hands come to heart center, and we're going to shift ourselves down into a squat. This may be the position you would like to stay in. If you'd like to challenge yourself to lower down, you can arrive all the way down in a lower squat. This is a nice place for a block or a pillow right underneath, just to allow you to have a little perch to sit on and still enjoy an opening here. Just a few more breaths. And then we're going to release all the way down to the mat. So if you're here high in a higher lunge, begin to bring everything back in, sliding hands down, all the way to the mat, one knee back, and then the other knee back, and making your way to seated. If you were in a lower squat, you could probably just bring yourself all the way down to seated. So let's arrive here, legs extended, right out in front of us. We're going to make our way into a seated forward fold. So let's find that energy from our sit bones all the way up to the top of the head, that nice long feeling. And then we'll begin to hinge right here at the hip crease. Possibly, maybe you'd like to walk fingers out, find that stopping point. Maybe fix your gaze right here on the tops of the toes. With each inhale, we feel a lengthening, almost like a pulling forward from the top of the head. With every exhale, we feel this folding right here in the hips. On our next inhale, let's begin to walk our way all the way back up to our staff position here. Now we're going to end with boat pose before we begin to settle in for our nidra. So let's bring the soles of the feet to the floor, knees are bent. And we're just going to bring that little bit of heat right here into the belly. We need that this time of year, just a little bit of heat right here. So bringing the hands behind the legs for support. Let's lift the feet. Find that balance point. Sometimes it helps to draw the chest into the knees to find that little balance point. And then from here, you build your boat however you'd like. So maybe you'd like to stay in a little tugboat here, or maybe you'd like to expand your boat. Maybe your boat is a yacht. You'd like to expand it out, make it big and long, play around with it. Just feel that strength, that heat building right here in the belly. 2 more breaths. And then let's release. Feet back down to the floor, and let's just hug ourselves right over the knees. Let everything round in. And now is the time to begin to set yourself up for our yoga nidra. So completely abandon your mat and head to the couch or head back to bed or a comfortable chair. Usually it's nice to be laying down for nidra, but sometimes propping up in a nice recliner could feel good as well. So as I begin to set up here, I'm going to turn my camera off as well. So please allow yourself to fully enjoy this time, this yoga nidra. It's a gift to yourself. It is a restful meditative state. It's between sleep and awake, and it allows the body and the mind to fully rest in a way that sometimes we can't quite get to. So a half hour of yoga nidra is equated with hours worth of regular sleep. So it's really good for us. Let your body sink. Get comfortable. Shift and move a little to let your body settle deeper and deeper. Be comforted at this time. Everything is okay. Nothing else matters right now. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. We are here to simply feel and listen. Do not worry or become agitated if you do not hear everything I say. It is natural to flow in and out of conscious hearing. The deepest part of you, your core self, is always listening. Whatever your experience today, this practice will still work. There is no way to do this wrong. Simply listen without trying too hard. You are in a safe environment, protected space. Come into stillness now and remain still for deep rest. Feel your natural breath flowing through. Allow your bones to become heavy. Feel your bones heavy and sinking. Allow your awareness to travel through your body now on a journey of sensation. Simply feeling each part as it is mentioned, and without moving, remain still. Welcome all sensation just as it is. Begin with the mouth. Feel the sensation in your mouth. Feel your jaw, lips, upper lip, lower lip. Notice where the lips touch. Feel the inside of your mouth, your teeth, your gums, your tongue. Notice the sense of taste in your mouth. Now feel all the parts together as a whole. Feel your nose. Notice the nostrils, left nostril, right nostril, both nostrils. Notice the breath, nasal passages. Follow the nasal passages all the way to the back of your head. Become aware of your ears, right ear, left ear, both ears together. Feel the wrinkles and folds of the ears, the backs of the ears and the earlobes. Notice your ears receiving sound, listening. Feel your eyes, left eye, right eye, both eyes together. Notice eyelids. Feel each eyelash. Notice where the eyelids touch. Become aware of the surface of the eyes, center of the eyes, back of the eyes. Feel your eyes now as energy. Bring awareness to the crown of your head, the forehead, the face. Feel your whole head, your neck, back of the neck, sides of the neck, throat. Notice your right palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Feel your whole hand alive with energy. Feel your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, whole shoulder. Notice the notch at the base of your throat. Notice your left palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Feel your whole hand alive and filled with sensation. Feel your left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, whole shoulder. Notice the notch at the base of the throat. Become aware of the upper chest, upper back, shoulder blades. Feel your heart center. Notice your abdomen, ribs on the back. Feel your belly, navel center, pelvis, hips. Feel your right hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, calf, ankle, foot, sole of the foot, the whole foot. Feel again the pelvis, the left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, foot, toes, sole, the whole foot. Notice both feet. Feel your root between your sitting bones, navel center, heart center, throat center, mouth, third eye between the eyebrows, and the crown. Feel now the back body resting on the earth. Bring awareness of your whole back body as sensation. Feel now the front body. Pour your awareness into the right side. Pour your awareness into the left side. Feel the center. Feel your body as a whole, a complete entity. Taking a deep breath in and then exhaling slowly. Relax as you release the breath. With each breath you take, you move deeper into the silent space within, into your inner world. Imagine yourself now walking through a desert landscape at night. The moon is not visible to light your path, and at first your steps are unsure and tentative. The more you attune yourself to the silent world around you, the more your senses begin to perceive details along your path. The desert air is clear and cold, fragrant. Now you move with confidence. You can see with your inner eyes. You are comfortable with the darkness that reveals its gifts. You can hear sounds of life around you. What do you hear? You can see things you have not heard before. You trust your inner sense. Your intuition guides you on your path. Answers reveal themselves as you surrender to the power of the unseen. You feel safe and protected. A warm feeling starts to bubble up from your abdomen and into your heart space. The warmth spreads to your arms and legs, to your whole body. A pleasant tingling sensation accompanies the warm glow that now seems to emanate from your body, creating a field of pleasant, vibrating energy throughout and around you. The source of light and warmth within you, always accessible, is your internal sun. You are equally comfortable with the dark as with the light. You are balanced, in harmony with the earth and the sky. As you turn your eyes toward the night sky above you, a blanket of brilliant stars illuminate the sky. Gratitude washes over you as you open your heart to the beauty of this sacred time and space. Hours seem like minutes. A sense of timelessness prevails. Yet, almost imperceptibly at first, you notice a change on the horizon. The light of the stars begins to fade, and toward the east, the first light of dawn colors the sky with shades of purple, pink, and orange. Slowly, the landscape around you reveals a new face of beauty and harmony. Soon, the radiant sun appears and bathes the desert in its warm glow. You are reborn to this new day, and you greet it with joy and gratitude. You can trust the sacredness of nature that always offers new beginnings. Bless the return of the light as you have blessed the darkness that preceded it. Take a full breath in and out. And as you exhale, imagine filling with divine light. May there be peace, eternal peace in your heart.